Hello guys, welcome to the Eternal Quest Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and thank you for choosing to watch this video. So today we are going to look at your ex's feelings and emotions towards you, towards the connection, and specifically I would be looking to get answer to the question whether they miss you or not at this time. And if Spirit does allow, depending on the kind of cards that come up, we are going to look into their intentions as well, their future intentions and what the probable future, near future holds for your connection. I'm also going to be closing off the reading for each pile with a message for you or kind of advice for you as to how you can deal with this present current situation that you are in, and knowing what you know about this connection. Okay, so as always I have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is the Shadowland Tarot deck with this beautiful piece of garnerite crystal. It's like it has some green veining on it. It's my most recent addition to my crystal collection, which is why I'm fascinated by it. Anyways, the second choice, the pile for pile 2, is this piece of yellow agate with the Bonfire Tarot. And the third pile would be the Crow Tarot with this piece of golden pyrite. Excuse me. Golden pyrite crystal. So take a pick from any of these 3 piles, go by your first instinct and trust that it will guide you to your reading. I'll have the timestamps listed in the description box below, as well as pinned to the comment section of this video, and you can click on it and it will take you to your reading. Okay, I'll see you there. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. This is your reading if you chose the green garnerite crystal with the Shadowland Tarot. And to begin this reading, I'm going to first draw 3 cards from a majors only deck that I have, and it's called the Terror Tarot. And it's called Terror because the theme of this deck, or the artwork, the imagery, is inspired by or based on the genre of horror, gore, and fantasy from several books and movies as well. So I really quite enjoy the aesthetic and the artwork of this deck, but the reason why we are drawing 3 major arcana cards is to look at the overall energy of your ex or the person that you're thinking of and you're not in contact, but definitely a romantic connection that can be labeled as an ex. So we are going to draw 3 cards to look into their current energy, their thoughts and emotions, either there or sometimes, you know, Spirit brings out messages in context to the energy of the connection right now as well. So depending on whatever I am inspired to talk about, we'll see. So we have 1. If you hear sounds in the background, that's just my dog trying to settle in the room or maybe outside the room. She's quite undecided. Okay. So let's take a look. We have Death, we have Judgment, and we have Temperance. Okay. So with the Death and Judgment and Temperance energies here, with the Death, that there definitely has been an ending, of course. But with the Judgment energy and the Temperance energy, especially more so with the judgment energy that comes through here. I feel like you and both of you, I mean, you and your ex is currently going through a very deep kind of transformation, okay? There have been several things that they have learned through this connection, and it's like all those realizations, those learnings, and things that they maybe have not looked at earlier are coming up for them as like these deep realizations about themselves, about this connection, about you, and anything that surrounds the context of romance and love for them. So this is a deeply transformative time, and this must be resonating with you as well. I feel like going through this connection, and through this connection you must have learned a lot of lessons too, okay? And I get the feeling that these lessons might have been especially hard to deal with, okay? It could be, you know, you learning lessons about yourself that have been hard, how you present yourself in love, your issues, your subconscious issues. Maybe this is also like talking about realizing what wounding you have in the past and a need to heal that, okay? But I feel like it must be something that was especially hard, okay? Some of you might still be going through that learning phase, but even if you feel like you are at the end of this, you know, soul learning journey, I feel like looking back on it, you must have found, or this must resonate, that the journey has been especially, you know, difficult, abrasive, okay? And these realizations, I feel like, have transformed you and your ex, okay? I feel like both of you are going through a lot since the breakup and ending the connection. And I feel like right now, okay, your ex, the person on your mind, they are very much focused on creating a sense of balance within themselves, okay? They are learning how to stand their ground despite, you know, despite the painful lessons that they have learned through this connection, the deep realizations that they might have, and they're learning how to accept both the light and the dark sides of their personality, of their emotional makeup, of their psyche, and they're learning to create a sense of balance in their lives, okay? And again, I'm seeing the angel here, and the angel is weeping, and we have the moon here in the card, and she's standing above this pool of water, and yet, you know, there's water pouring back and forth from the cups in her hand. So I feel like this is about them getting to a place of balance. And she stands in a graveyard, and we have graveyard here, and we have death. So yeah, after the transformation, it's kind of like that phase of time where it's, you were a certain way previously, and then you went through transformation, and now before you emerge as your new self, there is a little bit of settling down. There is a little bit of finding your ground, as I said, finding your sense of balance, being able to sit comfortably, stand comfortably as this new person, okay? And respond to the world through these new emotions that get acquired and that become a part of us because of going through some kind of like pain, some kind of transformation, and allowing our new selves to become stabilized, I feel like, in this world, okay? So that seems to be the overall energy for your ex, and definitely I feel like for you too. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the tarot cards we find that, you know, it has been like a very important, a very deep, a very intense connection, like a twin flame soulmate type of journey for you guys. And yeah, that seems to be what is going on with them. They're coming into, or stepping into their own power and practicing the art of owning this new self that they might be emerging as, coming out of this experience post the breakup, and deep realizations. I feel like your person has also spent a lot of time working on themselves, like truly being focused on themselves, and which could be the reason why, you know, they haven't reached out, or you haven't seen or heard from them. But underneath the surface, and they might have not communicated all of this with you, but underneath the surface, I feel like what they have been dealing with is this energy of transformation, which can sometimes be very, very uncomfortable to deal with. Okay, and I feel like I'm looking at these prickly kind of like leafless trees in the past. So for some of you, they might have, I'm looking at this boat traveling on water in the death card. I feel like for some of you, there has also been some shedding that your ex has done, shedding their past, shedding things from their past, and having had to do that, and having had to do you know, kind of like something that they needed to do in order to transform, in order to allow the energy of judgment and these realizations that they just could not ignore. So it's kind of like they're coming out of that phase, and you might be coming out of that phase and now learning how to stand on your own 2 feet and feel balanced. Okay, this is also about emotional balance, how to practice gaining a sense of control over your emotions, because when we transform from an old version of ourselves and we go through some important experience that leads to like a lot of deep realizations and transformation, and we are emerging into this new self, there is a big part of it is to learn how to manage when our old self or old sort of pattern of thinking, our emotions, the way we used to react or respond to the world, that sometimes gets triggered, that sometimes gets emerged, and a big part of it is learning how to not react from that place and still stand our ground as this new individual who understands better, who knows better, who has gone through experiences that have taught us better. So that is the kind of energy that I am sensing that your ex is dealing with at this time. So we will put it on the side here, and I will be going into the tarot. So does your ex miss you? Are you on their mind? Do they think about you? And Spirit, if we can get an idea about their intentions with this connection. I want to see, like, post this transformative phase, have they, or do they think about you, or have they completely moved on? Let's see. You're starting with the 5 of Wands. So there might definitely be some conflict in your connection, like when the connection was unfolding, and they seem to be, another message that I'm getting is that in terms of how they feel about you, or wanting to do something like make a connection, reconnect with you, it seems to be like some sort of a conflicting issue. But let's see what the other cards say. Then we have the 4 of Cups. Okay, the 4 of Cups, there's a lot of thinking. Okay, there's a lot of ruminating on the connection. So answering the question, like, do they even think about you? I would say that's a definitive yes. Your ex definitely thinks about you, but at this time, they might not be doing anything about that. And when they think about you, I feel like it creates a lot of like internal conflict. Then we have the judgment energy here, which is discretion. Okay. And I feel like if your relationship, if this resonates with you and your relationship has been something that was filled with conflict, okay, then it is through those conflicts and, you know, observing how they were, or how you were, the energy of that conflict. I feel like your ex is learning a lot of the lessons that we saw in the majors only part of your reading, and it is through that, through their ruminating on this connection, that they are, you know, still in the process, I feel like, of realizing a lot of things, okay, which they previously, I feel like they didn't have the capacity to do so. I'm also looking at the owl in flight, so kind of getting a bird's eye view, an overall view of the situation now that there has been, you know, like a breakup and some distance from the connection. So they might be seeing things a little bit more clearly. And horns, to me, horns are a sign of potential spiritual development, actually. And the red shoes on the owl, for me, they are a sign of unconventional thinking. Red is also about passion, so they must be learning a lot about their emotions, a lot about their what they really want, their desires, and kind of understanding everything from a bird's eye point of view. But are you on their mind? Yes, definitely. And they, I feel like, spend a considerable amount of time thinking about your connection to them, and it's been like a intensely spiritual, something that might have instigated their spiritual development as well, or began the journey of spiritual awakening for them, this connection. Okay, so does your ex think about you? Do they miss you? And if we can get something on their intentions. Then we have the Three of Cups. Okay. Does your ex think about you? What are they thinking and feeling? Do they miss you? I feel like your ex definitely misses the good times that they have spent with you. This could be a sort of connection where, you know, when things were good, they were really good. And when things started going downhill, things went really bad. You know, that type of connection. That's the energy kind of that I'm getting with the Five of Wands and the Three of Wands. So the good times that you guys shared with each other, the dating, going out, maybe you have common friends, spending time with friends and socializing and all that, the fun part, and just being in your presence, I feel like was very fulfilling. And your presence, like you kind of stood out, I feel like, from the crowd, and you were very different from the kind of connections that they usually have, or very different from their social circle. And I feel your ex recognizes that, and they acknowledge that within themselves. I feel like you were much wiser with the capability of showing a side of life to your person that they have not acquainted themselves with or had the opportunity to even think about through other connections in their life. So in a way, you kind of challenged their thinking, you expanded, you pushed them to expand their way of thinking, being, and feeling through your connection. And I feel like that was very valuable for your person as well. So when they do contemplate and when they do think about this connection, when they do think about you, it's like they acknowledge that there is a beauty to you in the way that you think, in the way that you come across emotionally, in the way that you connect with people, something that delighted them. But at the same time, I feel like it challenged them enough to cause like mental conflict, if you know what I mean, like, because it was so different than what they have experienced in their life, that, you know, that also caused a could be the cause of conflict as well. So a good thing, but also, you know, something that contributed to disagreements, to not seeing eye to eye, and them feeling, you know, conflicted about you or about the connection, because while they appreciated the fact that you were so different, they also felt challenged by you, I feel like. Okay, so does your ex think about you? You kind of, I want to say, pushed them out of their comfort zones in both good ways and bad. Bad for them, I mean, good for them and bad for them. We have the seeker, the fool. Okay, so with the fool energy is the energy of taking a leap of faith, taking action, and just trusting the process. So I'm getting two types of messages here, okay? So are you on your ex's mind? Yes. And are they intending to reconnect with you? At this time, I feel like for some of you, there might be this strong desire, but with the Four of Cups energy, it's not really reached a point where they are going to do it, okay? But there's that strong pull towards, look at this cat pointing to the Three of Cups and here, which is like your past connection. I feel like there's a part of this pull and the desire that they feel that tells them that, you know, they need to revisit and reconnect with you, because I feel like there might still be some confusion, and I especially get that from that the little cat's face with its with like blank eyes and a distressed look. And I feel like there might be still certain things that need to be said, that need to be elaborated almost, that need to be discussed. And your ex might feel like there might still be certain things that it could just be a misunderstanding, you know. So when they think of the conflict that this connection created at the time, they might literally be feeling as if, you know, maybe it was just a misunderstanding, because look at how beautiful the other things were, you know. Maybe we split up too soon. Maybe we gave up on each other too soon. So there is definitely a part of them that's nudging them, that asking them to revisit this connection. And I'm going to get some more clarification on the Fool energy in a bit. But at this time, they seem to be not doing so, and we'll take a look at why. Let me get one more card. Is your ex missing you and thinking about you? For pile 1, the answer is a straight up yes. And I feel like this connection has been something that has really taught them. And we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so there are two parts here. Six of Swords is moving away from something that is not serving you. Let's quickly get a clarification, because there are these two sides that are coming up, okay? Where it's like part of them wants to go back to you and revisit the connection, rekindle it, and part of them, it's asking or kind of making them feel that you have already gone through a lot together, and what you have gone through is difficult enough, and maybe, you know, it's time for them to move on. Okay, so there's this confusion. So let me get this Fool energy explanation, elaboration on the Fool energy. What's the Fool energy here? What's this Fool energy here? We have Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so definitely, as I was saying, like this person wants to make some kind of like a definitive offer to you, a new beginning, wanting a new fresh start with you. Okay, so with the Ace of Pentacles, I definitely feel confident enough that it is a very real, robust, huge thought on their minds that, you know, perhaps the reasons why you ended the connection are not correct, or they are not something that, you know, doesn't what's the word that I want, but the reasons are not good enough the reasons why you ended, because there were so many things that were wonderful about you, and your ex acknowledges that. Let me get one more card for the full. What's this full energy here? The Ace of Pentacles, the kind of beginning, the new beginning that comes with the Ace of Pentacles. That's one thing that I do want to talk about, is that more often than not, the kind of beginning that comes with Ace of Pentacles is the kind that you get after you have left your comfort zone. Okay, so right now, as I said, with this cat cowering and just like, you know, taking its time to think about, you know, everything that happened in the past, they might not be in the energy of stepping out of their comfort zone, but they definitely do think about it, you know, wondering, can I do this? Should I do this? Will it be worth it? And it seems to be like a very big thought on their minds and on their head. And it might be something, you know, that they would be able to do, and they know that they would be able to get sort of like a new beginning with you, and that would mean pushing themselves out of their comfort zone, leaving their comfort zone, what is familiar, okay, and making some changes in their lives. And they also know that when they do, if they do decide to step into this connection from the past, that it would mean you know, kind of like looking at things a different way. A fresh energy is what I am trying to say. Fresh energy for both of you, but definitely for them. And I feel like they wonder if they would be able to do that, or is it a good idea to move away. But let me get one more card for this Fool energy, the Seeker energy here. We have the Chariot. Look at that. So yeah, definitely this desire to reconnect with you is quite big, I would say, and make some kind of like, maybe this new beginning, this Ace of Pentacles, in this connection, this reconnection, that might require for some of you that your ex makes a physical move, like from one location to the other, like there might be distance between the two of you. So there are all these questions that they ponder about the viability and sustainability of this connection with you, and what it would require of them, the changes that they would need to make, the moves that they would need to make. So let's get more on the Six of Swords energy. What is the Six of Swords energy? It's also possible for some of you that your ex might be in a different connection, because I'm seeing two other people in the boat here, and this dragon keeps drawing my attention. So I kind of feel like, you know, making a move back into this connection, okay, would result in a lot of consequences in terms of the other connections around them and where they find themselves, okay? And these connections, the type of connections that, if this is true for you, and if you know that your ex is in a different connection, I don't feel like they necessarily want to be, but it could be that they see it as their responsibility, you know, that no matter what, the raging dragon, no matter what they're feeling passionate about, they must do, you know, what is right, and what would mean the least amount of sort of inconvenience or changing their lives without changing their lives too much. So there is a part of them that really fears, I feel. We have the Six of Cups, yeah, so this could be family, this could be, you know, I'm getting the sense of family, you know, around a dinner table, and they have the Two of Cups and their heart up on the wall there, which tells me like your person might not really be happy, like genuinely emotionally fulfilled in this connection that they are in, okay, but feeling kind of responsible, and asking themselves if they can really, you know, get out of this situation. For those of you that this is not talking about a third party, and you know that your person is not in a not in another connection, the Six of Swords supported or like explained by the Six of Cups, there are, you know, certain memories with you, I feel like, in this connection that kind of puts a pause and makes them wonder, you know, like this conflict that we looked at, that we began the reading with. So memories of how they felt in the connection, or how just, you know, some situations, the way that they might have unfolded, how that made them feel. That might be kind of like the blockage that makes them think, you know, maybe it's a better idea to move on. So really conflicted, I feel like, your excess energy. Okay, let's get some more. One more clarifying card for the Six of Swords. So two types of messages there with the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups. And then we have reversed Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. For some of you, as I said, if it is a family that they are with, or, you know, another connection that they are involved in, this Ten of Pentacles is the reversed in reverse. That this is about, okay, so again, two messages here. This is about them thinking, you know, is this connection with you something that will last for the long term, and can I make it work for the long term? Okay, because they might know that that is what you are expecting and that is what you're seeking from them and from this connection, and them not feeling like they could offer you a Ten of Pentacles kind of situation right now. And also another message, if it is, you know, a family that they're, you know, entangled with in another connection, then it's them thinking, you know, again, the same story, like, is it viable? Is it wise? Should I be doing this? Should I be reconnecting with an old flame and somebody that I have these mixed emotions for? Okay, certainly see like them yo-yoing between Five of Wands and the Three of Cups, appreciating the fun. I feel like you guys really did have a lot of fun together. For them, the connection was a lot of fun, and they might be missing that. But there's also this conflict, and that's on their mind too. I'm getting more clarification for the Five of Wands energy. We have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, Two of Pentacles is completely feeling confused about option 1 and option 2. So option 1 could be, you know, connecting with you, reconnecting with you, and option 2 could be either, you know, staying in a connection if you know that your ex is in a third-party situation, or if not, then continuing on and moving forward with their journey because they're feeling unsure about the future. Excuse me, and whether a Ten of Pentacles stable situation can be manifested or created for your connection to them, because they are thinking of the conflict. And the Two of Pentacles also speaks of, you know, their conflicted mind. Of course, the Five of Wands, as I said, their mind is conflicted, and Two of Pentacles is literally not knowing where to invest their energy into. And look at how wounded the person that's trying to balance the Two Pentacles is. So it's possible that your person is really at this time feeling really exhausted, tired, worn out with everything that they're trying to do. And this person has literally dropped a pentacle, and there's one that, you know, they're barely balancing, and they're looking at the other dropped pentacle, which they're standing on with a lot of sadness. But this is someone who literally doesn't feel capable right now, capable of doing everything that it takes to balance two things. And this another pentacle, as I said, if it's not another connection, pentacles is also a, you know, suit of resources. So they could be working on getting other things in their life straightened out, and simply not having the energy to invest in your connection, I feel like, okay? A lot going on. And as we saw with the major arcana cards here, as I said, your person is definitely going through a transformation with the death and the judgment energy. And usually this energy is very intense, okay? Death speaks of a transformation that's really, you know, literally like your old self dying and a new self emerging. So if they have been going through that, okay, it's no wonder to see them wounded and exhausted and kind of feeling like, do I even have the energy? I want to save this pentacle. Like, they're not ready to let it go. They're not ready to, you know, let this coin drop and roll off into wherever it lands. So they're still hanging on to it in a way, but definitely looking at it really sadly about having dropped it. Definitely, you know, they are thinking about you. We have the Tower moment. Okay, so your person is definitely, like I said, going through some really intense changes in their lives. Tower could be also, you know, things happening around them at this time, through which, you know, this definitely looks like a person, this character in the Two of Pentacles. I would say somebody who is just coming out of a tower moment, or having sustained a tower moment in their lives. So things might have happened around them. What specifically it is, we would not know, and it would vary from person to person, but definitely something that feels like a rude awakening, okay? And something they didn't ask for, but like a lightning strike to the tower, and everything around there crumbling. But I'll tell you this, that going through a tower moment is very intense and very painful and difficult to cope with. That is for sure, okay? So your ex is, or your person that you loved and have this romantic connection with them, even, I would say, even after going through a tower moment in which, you know, they felt like their world was turned upside down, okay? Even with that, they're not letting go of you completely. This dropped pentacle, I feel like, is the lost connection, and I feel like there's a lot of sadness around, you know, having dropped it. But even so, they're not really fully letting go of you and letting go of this connection. Okay, so are you on their mind? Do they miss you? Do they still think about you? Do they ponder on this? Definitely so. And there's a big part of them that really wants to rekindle this connection. I want to see this Four of Cups. What is this Four of Cups energy here? What is the Four of Cups energy here? Even after, you know, going through a tower moment like that, if they're still somewhat hung up on this connection, that says a lot of the intensity. So we have the Devil in reversed with the Four of Cups. So at this time, the Devil energy in its upright position for me is all about like our minds being stuck in a place that is ridden with fear, that is ridden with all these limiting beliefs, obsessive thinking. And to me, Four of Cups, and one of the cards clarifying it being the Devil, I feel like at this time, through this contemplation that they are doing, your person might be recognizing some of this Devil energy, which is, like I said, limiting beliefs, their fears, and the ways in which they are or they were wrong, you know, when this connection was unfolding. And they're sitting there stewing in their thoughts, but also realizing and trying to let go of this dysfunctional way of thinking that they had within them, okay? And I'm saying that they are trying to let go of it and have or possibly have let go of most of it because of this overall energy of death that I saw, death, judgment, and temperance. So definitely like this contemplation that they find themselves in from time to time, despite so many things going on in their lives. I feel like they still think about this connection a lot, and they are really attempting to, too many cards fell off. So I usually take jumper cards, but not when these many fall off. They're really trying to let go or question their own way of thinking, their own way of being. And it could also be fear, that residual fear that they feel. Because as I said, the devil is all about fear as well. And since it is coming up in reverse, I feel like there's definitely a ongoing attempt, internal attempt with your person, with your ex, in that process of letting go and questioning their own beliefs. But there might still be this residual kind of thing, the fear, that might be holding them back. Okay, and still needing to work on them. Because even if it comes up in reverse, the devil energy is there. But I feel like your ex has somewhat realized, okay, that it is a lot of the ways that they think, okay, or their pattern of thinking, or, you know, their programming, their mental programming, their emotional programming, that has also contributed to the breakup in this connection. So they are in that realization now, is what I feel. Then we have the High Priestess energy in reverse. So in its upright position, the High Priestess is all about being able to connect with your intuition, being able to connect with your feminine side, okay? And in the reversed position, the High Priestess is all about not being able to listen to your intuition, okay? Not being able to connect to your feminine side, to the side that really allows us to accept the emotions and sit with our emotions, okay? So there might be some blocking of emotions and of intuitions that might be going on with your ex, with the reversed reverse High Priestess energy here, okay? Which in turn is not allowing them to come forward. In time though, I feel like because of the Judgment energy here, them coming to like some big realizations, and as I said, the horns, they are a potential like spiritual awakening for me. In time, I feel like this will change and the High Priestess would be flipped over, and like they would be able to listen and tune in with their intuition. Right now, it also could be because of the overwhelm that they feel, because we saw the Tower energy here, right? The Five of Wands, the Tower. So a lot going on, I feel like, in their life, them having to balance so many things, several things. And so it's kind of like your person might have, you know, told themselves that, let me put this pentacle down for a while. I'm not going to let it go, but let me deal with this like overwhelming energy of the Tower that has happened in my life. So it could be like a conscious choice of stepping away from deciding and blocking off their, you know, intuition, emotions at this time, okay? Something that they probably feel like they have to do in order to function at this moment, at this time. Let's get more on the Judgment energy, the discretion energy here. We have Queen of Pentacles, okay. I feel like your ex might even be putting you up on a pedestal here. And we have the Seven of Swords energy. I hate seeing Seven of Swords when it's in a relationship reading, because, yeah, Seven of Swords is the energy of deception and having hurt you, you know, because we have this person that's running away with 5 swords and 2 swords are like plunged into the other person. So I feel like your ex might be realizing how beautifully and how wonderfully you have handled yourself through this breakup, through this connection, despite the pain that they have caused. I feel like during the connection, there might be some, you know, Seven of Swords type of energy from them. There might be some deceit, there might be some lying, some hiding of emotions. Okay, so please take only what resonates. If you know that there were no lies, there were definitely like hiding of emotions. And I feel like your person is realizing that they have been somewhat selfish in like ending this connection and leaving you to deal with the consequences, but they still see your beauty, your stability, your strength. I feel like this is your image that they have on their minds of you, that is. And they find you quite grounded, quite stable, quite strong, somebody that can take care of herself, and also someone who has a certain amount of control, not only on herself, that is her emotions and whatnot, but also her worlds. Like you have a lot going on too, I feel like, but you're more together, you're more put together. At least that's how I feel like your ex sees you. But they have this realization that they ended things with someone who really deserves the world, or you didn't deserve the way that they treated you, I feel like, in this connection, and they do realize that. Okay, it could also be that there might be some guilt that comes through for them, the emotion of guilt, because of the way that they handled the connection, and that could be the reason why they are at this time keeping away and assessing all those feelings of guilt and, you know, examining their own action towards a person like you. Okay, let's get more on the Three of Cups. What's this Three of Cups energy here? Oops. What's this Three of Cups energy here? Oops. We have the reversed Queen of Wands. Okay. What's this Three of Cups energy here? And we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so with the reverse Queen of Wands, the kind of energy that comes through with the reverse Queen of Wands is someone who, and I'm not saying that you did this, that is how they experienced you, okay? Someone who comes across as really strong, okay? But in a way that made them feel in the connection when they were around you or mingling with you and connecting with you, that is, you know, channeling this Three of Cups energy in the connection, they kind of felt like controlled almost, or dealing with your passionate side, your strong, outspoken, and, you know, somebody who speaks her mind, goes after her dreams. So in this connection, you came across as this really strong, chasing, go-getting kind of, not chasing, let me change the word. Let me, you know, correct myself here, but somebody who's a go-getter, but they saw it as someone, okay, they saw it as you exercising like control over them, and they were pretty confused as to how to respond to your power. Okay, as I said, I feel like they have not dealt with a person like this in their life prior to you. That is, you might be like somebody absolutely different than the other people in their lives, but your passion, your energy was somewhat misunderstood here. I feel like completely misunderstood. Now, you might not be doing this in a way to like control the flow of the relationship, control the direction, or control them. That might be like the last thing on your mind, but it's how they experienced the connection with you. Okay, that is important. Like how they experienced is important for them at this time. And I feel like even now, when they think about your personality, okay, they think about this aspect of your personality, they're not really sure and not really clear whether they are drawing the right conclusions, because it just confuses them in a way. Like you confuse them in a way that nobody else has. You know, I feel like you were, like I said, really different from the usual kind of social circle that they associated with. So when they think of you, this aspect of your personality must be something like they are very confused about how to feel about, if that makes sense. Like they cannot make up their mind as to how they should assess this aspect of your personality, how they should feel about it. Okay, so let me get some oracle cards here and see what we get in terms of, you know, what they are thinking and feeling, because they definitely are thinking a lot about this connection. Let me get some more energy of this connection, please, Spirit. We have the chaser in codependent relationship, abandonment issues. So if you are the chaser in this connection, and if you have somewhat kind of demonstrated the quality of chasing, I feel like that really, your person really takes an issue with that, you know. And that explains the Queen of Wands, like reversed energy, and confusing it, because your person sees you as this really strong and independent, you know, individual that has, you know, control over a lot of aspects of her or his life. But in the relationship, if they have kind of encountered this aspect of chasing, okay, and even chasing energetically, Spirit is saying it's not just about, you know, doing the chasing as in like trying to get them to talk to you, to spend time with you, but even energetically, if you're doing that, best is to stop it. Best is to put an end to that energy, because, you know, it confuses them really, because they don't know whether, you know, you are really this confident person that, you know, they think you are more often than not, or whether it is like, you know, your insecurity, or you are insecure. And that I feel really triggers your person a lot in relationships. Okay, so they're not equipped to handle codependency issues. Okay, this tells me that they might have like an avoidant kind of personality, or like an attachment wound, but that kind of makes them avoidant, because avoidants are usually turned off by this codependent energy of the chaser. And it does mean, like, you know, they have to do their work, and I feel like they realize that. But this, to me, if you know, ask yourself this, if you are have displayed the chaser archetype kind of energy in this connection, then best is to go back, connect with yourself, heal that. Codependency issues, I was just talking to someone yesterday, and they typically arrive from childhood wounding. So best is to take a pause, take a breather, and do the work on yourself. And if you've already been doing that, that's wonderful. we have the dragonfly, be lighthearted, finding out things coming to life, adapt, change, and heal. So I feel like, as I said, realizations, judgments, you know, the judgment energy is things coming to light, things resurfacing. So this could mean so many different things, you know, depending upon your particular situation. This could mean like their own issues coming to surface, your issues coming to surface, things about them, things about you coming to surface. And Spirit is saying that at this time, it's best to learn from it, adapt, and allow those things to change you, okay? Versus like resisting it or seeing that as a bad thing, okay? Don't see it as a bad thing. Be lighthearted, because in a way, if you are wanting to rekindle this connection, you got to allow these realizations, which will help you change help you change you and allow them to change themselves, and then reconnect with a kind of like fresh energy of the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so don't see it as a bad thing if that is happening. Then we have the Phoenix. Yeah, new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. Like I said, this connection is really intense in terms of the things that is bringing up to the surface, but there is an opportunity to rekindle this connection if you don't resist this judgment phase, this transformation that might be happening with you, but definitely is happening with their ex. And the way to not resist that is to just leave it alone. Just let it be for now. Let them do their own thinking. Because if they have misread your energy as the reverse, like Queen of Wands, and misinterpreted your like passion, your power, your desire, then it's best that they come to the realization yourself, because I wouldn't want you going and convincing them, you know. You cannot anyways in a relationship, you cannot convince someone to see your worth, right? So I would very much want you to just leave this alone and have them come to their realizations about you on their own, which I feel like they will, because they are coming to the realization of their own drawbacks or of their own mistakes that they do, and the energy that they put out. So they are honestly attempting to work through that as well. So I'm not getting a bad vibe from your person when I'm like thinking about them or like talking about them or through the cards. This is genuinely someone who was lost and who had not experienced an intense connection like this before, or someone like you before, and they're having to deal with, you know, all these feelings that come up when they think about you, and how they feel about you. So the butterfly, so relationship evolving. This is blacked out, but the word is evolving. To the next phase, healing the inner child's growth. So yeah, inner child wounds, definitely with the chaser. So this could be you, but also them. So both of you healing your inner child's wounds, attachment wounds, like I said, the chasing, which comes from codependency, which has its roots in inner child's wounding. And also the other side of the coin, which is avoidant, that also has its root in inner child's wounding. Okay, so this is both of you, and definitely you, because you're watching this video. So this is Spirit alerting you to, if you have put out this energy of the chaser or of codependency, Spirit is at this time alerting you to that and asking you to go back to healing that. Okay, but definitely, like, you both are transforming. I feel like this reading for you, pile one, is talking about a big possibility of rekindling this connection after a little bit of pause. So it feels like a pause, not feels like a final something, because too many like complex things going on with your ex that they are having to work with right now, and get their own answers. But is there a possibility that this will, you know, lead to them rekindling the connection, or you guys rekindling? I don't know how that's going to happen, whether you're going to reach out to them or they're going to reach out to you. That remains to be seen, of course, but there is a big chance of that happening. I would acknowledge that. Then we have camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. So definitely learning from the past. I've spoken about that through the tarot spread, but this also makes me feel like they might be looking at your pictures, looking at some shared memories, and reminiscing. Reminiscing, we have a lot of that. So it's kind of like a reiteration of the previous message. Okay, I'm going to do two more cards. We have healing your heart, time for healing, healing from the heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. You know, there was someone, I can't remember who, that talks about, you know, when a breakup happens, and especially something that feels like a tower moment, you know, the energy of tower. And if your breakup felt like, you know, an abrupt kind of sudden thing, that you were not prepared for and they were not prepared for, it's, you know, the universe steps in and takes away certain connections from us, and that's because it's universe's way or spirit's way of saying that you need to go to your separate corners and work first on healing these issues that actually hinder a healthy connection with each other. So think of this, as I said, this feels more like a pause than the end, you know, type of connection. And it feels like the time out that you are experiencing with your ex right now, it might be something that has happened or manifested for you at this time, because Spirit wants you to focus on healing your heart and your toxic patterns, your toxic relationship patterns, and same for them. Okay, I feel like both of you mirror each other in terms of your energy that needs to be worked on, and for them too, and for you as well, something needs to like deeply really heal for you to be able to sustain a healthy connection with each other. Okay, this reading is already an hour long, so we'll take one last card and see what comes up. Let me know if you do enjoy like long readings and this much detail, or would you rather prefer like a 10 to 20 minutes snapshot? Should I do those type of videos? I myself, as a reader, I do like getting into the depth of the issue, and I feel like the more layers we open, the better understanding we have. But let me know what you prefer. Do you want to see some short videos as well? And I'll try to do those readings on my channel. So we have healthy choices, make healthy choices in love and life, self-love, self-care, being happier. Yeah. So some of you, the lessons that you're learning is how to, how your choices in love and the kind of person that you select, or the kind of energy that you put out in a relationship and in life, you know, that needs healing. Okay, you need to learn how to make the choices that we make. Okay, if there is some emotional wounding, we are sort of stuck in a pattern where we are bound to repeat and make bad choices for ourselves. Okay, especially with like emotional wounding present within us. If that is not healed, we keep repeating those patterns. And in love, by repeating those patterns, I feel like, you know, you are bound to, if you were to connect with your person now and go through the relationship with them now, you're bound to repeat the history. Okay, that you already, you know, like something that was pretty intense and something that you are still maybe, you know, learning how to breathe through. But if you do not heal and you keep making certain emotional choices and choices with how you react, how you respond, okay, learning how to be happy within yourself, you know, with these codependency issues, I feel like healing yourself, healing the core issues that and you know, this is not a reading that we really went into the core issues that you need to heal. Maybe someday I will do a reading. I have another reading on my channel, which is like how to best align yourself to your dreams. And one of the piles does go into like what you should be looking at if you're trying to manifest a connection. But I want to do like core wounds reading, which gets pretty intense, even for me as a reader. But my point is, if that is not healed, we continually are reacting, responding, and bringing in the same energy in a connection. Okay, so that is very important that both of you learn how to change all of that within yourself. And I feel like that is the process that is going on, has been going on for both of you since the breakup. Okay, but there is a real chance. I feel like there is a desire that has not left them for you, a desire for you, I mean, and of course, since you're watching this reading, there might be a part of you too that thinks about them, that wonders about them. Of course, like, you know, when the time comes, it would be your personal choice whether to allow this connection in back into your life or not. You always have the power to choose that. But for now, I know that, you know, there's a part of you that does wonder about them, think about them. And I would tell you, like, from these cards that there is a real possibility of this connection being rekindled, but it is supported by this, like the healing work that you do for yourself. Okay, and why it is important, because otherwise it's just going to be a repeat cycle, repeat story. Once again, the same drama unfolds, and that's not what we are wanting, or definitely not what you're wanting for yourself. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this. I hope this resonated. Please let me know in the comment section below if this resonated with you, if this helped you. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my work. And if you're looking to book a private reading with me, the information on that is in the description box. And yeah, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi Pile 2. So this is your reading if you resonated with the yellow agate crystal and the bonfire tarot. Welcome. So before we go into your tarot cards, I'm going to be pulling 3 cards from this Majors Only tarot deck, and it's called the Tarot. And I quite enjoy this deck because the theme is based on horror, macabre. I don't know how that is pronounced. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but it's spelled M-A-C-A-B-R-E. Macabre, gore, the horror genre of fiction, books as well as movies. And I like the artwork, and the cards are really well made to touch. So I'm going to be drawing 3 major arcana cards, and that is just to look at the overall major theme of this connection right now, what they have been going through since your breakup with them, since the connection ended, and what you have gone through, if I am called to interpret the cards in that light as well. And then we will go into the tarot messages. So let's see, this card 1, card 2, and we have card 3. Okay, so let's see what your person, you have been going through. We have the Magician, whoops, we have Temperance, okay, and we have the Emperor, okay. All right, so with the Emperor energy here, I feel like this is about your person stepping into or coming into their own power, okay? Gaining some kind of maturity. And I say some kind of because I feel like it could be talking about becoming more mature emotionally, and maybe they were not emotionally mature in this connection. okay? And sort of becoming more aware and comfortable within themselves, okay? I feel like your person in the connection, like when you were in a relationship with them, they were very uncomfortable expressing how they feel, talking about their feelings, and that could be basically because they reject their own feelings. They deny their feelings, they run from their feelings, and sort of, I'm looking at the wine glass in this emperor's hand, and it makes me also think of like addictions and using substances, and if not substances, using different outlets in order to cope with those intense feelings and emotions, okay? But since the breakup, okay, we have the temperance energy here, and this came up with pile 1 as well, but anyways, temperance to me talks about arriving or trying to arrive at a place of balance. It is also about balancing out your logical side with your emotional side, okay, and learning how to conduct life or how to carry forth in life while taking charge of your emotions, okay? And by that, what I mean is that you see this angel, she's standing on a pedestal, but that's over a pool, like a small pool of water. And water is a sign of emotions, okay? And we have 2 cups here and pouring water back and forth in these cups. This angel also seems to be crying, if you can see that. So really heavy tears. So this is about being comfortable with very heavy emotions, is the feeling that I'm getting, okay? I believe personally that emotions is the driving force of our lives. Any kind of forward movement, any kind of change that has to manifest in our life, or that we want to manifest in our life, okay? It doesn't come unless we get in touch with our true feelings. We don't, if we are turned off to the feelings, we keep on creating experiences that ultimately lead to some kind of a pain, okay? And that pain, again, demands us to take a look within. And through accepting, through understanding our emotions, and through healing some of the emotions that do demand healing, it is how we achieve a sense of balance. And I feel like this being the central card, you know, sandwiched between the Emperor and the Magician, which I'll come to in a second, I feel like this was quite lacking, this emotional maturity with your ex, with your Emperor. And they are, or have been, or they might still be in that journey of understanding the value of accepting and being okay and comfortable and standing their own ground, and accepting their emotional side, okay? So the Emperor might come across, like when we think of the Emperor, we think of someone in charge, someone capable of making decisions, someone sort of like that has to be more logical rather than emotional, because the Emperor is continually making decisions, and there are so many things that have to be considered while taking some of those important decisions, which we attribute to the Emperor. But because of this past experience where they have been maybe put in a place where, you know, even from their background, I feel like that is family and their childhood, maybe they have learned that emotions are not that important, or taking a look at your emotions in a situation or while deciding something is the less less wiser way to go about it. But they are understanding as they are growing up, and through their experience with the relationship that they had with you, I feel like your person is understanding that embracing your emotions and learning which ones to react to, which ones to respond to, and which ones to let go, which ones to heal. They're just growing up, I feel like, and becoming more mature and accepting of their own feelings and their own emotions in a situation. Now, with this Magician card, I feel like very soon, or this process might have already began, or sort of they might be standing in their own power. It would vary from person to person, and by that I mean you guys who are watching this pile 2 reading. But I think, like, by embracing all parts of them, okay, and by acknowledging the power they have within themselves. It's like previously, I feel like your person kind of just went through life in a way that was more reactive than respond. And what I mean by that is, a reaction is kind of like our programmed way of reacting to things, reacting to circumstances, reacting to life, reacting to situations. And that comes from a sense of belief that we are not in charge so much, okay? Not in charge of what happens, not in charge of creating anything, and sort of like a life just happens to me, like shit happens, and I can't do anything about it, okay? It is what it is kind of mentality. And coming into their power by emotionally evolving, okay, and finding a sense of balance with this Temperance card within themselves. I feel like they are understanding how powerful they are as creators. I'm also getting message from some of you that they might be in the process of manifesting a connection, a reconnection with you guys, wanting to come back, revisit the connection, and really wanting to connect with you, okay? I also feel like through this process, through the breakup that you had and they experienced with you and the relationship, I feel like they understand how much they have learned from the connection, how much they have learned from you, and they are wanting, I feel like actively wanting to manifest this connection back into their lives. Okay, they're really, I'm really sensing that energy of, I don't want to say hope, but an intention being put out in the universe by them for this connection to manifest again in their lives. Okay, so your person is really coming together, I must say, and rising in their power. They might also be feeling that powerful sense of their own being, and like I said, more in charge of their inner world, which is how we become more in charge of the outer world. And this understanding has come through pain and through some deep realizations that they have had through this connection. Okay, in the Temperance card, I always notice the moon energy here, how it is kind of crowning this angel from behind, and it's in the background. So the moon for me is all about the mysterious side of life, something that is not extremely obvious, the subtle energies, or like under the surface layer to reality. And I feel like your person is becoming more cognizant, more aware of the subtleties within them and the subtleties around them. Okay, again, by growing up and by becoming more emotionally mature than they were before, or what your experience has been of them. So really a wonderful journey that they have been, I feel like, so far. Some of, like I said, some of them might be at the tail end of this journey. Some of you, for some of you guys, this journey might have just begun, depending on when you ended the connection or when the relationship ended. But yeah, it's wonderful to see that they are becoming more aware and stepping into their power as the Magician. So let's look at the tarot messages and see if you are on their mind and if they think about you, and hopefully, you know, we will be able to take a look into what it is that they see, what it is that they feel, and think about when they think of you. And yeah, if Spirit allows us, I would also like to take a look at the intention, that what do they intend to do next after post this breakup and going through whatever they are going through. So we are starting with the reversed Page of Coins. Okay. Is your ex thinking about you? Are they missing you? What do they think about when they think of you? How do they feel? And I would love if you took this reading as sort of just information, okay? Because understand that, you know, as time goes by, things change. So I'm intending this reading to be timeless, and whenever you find it, that is when the message is applicable to you. But what I'm saying is, you're watching this reading at this point of time. I hope that you take this as information and not as, like, you know, the final word, and know that, you know, again, you are the magician and you're always in charge and in control. And the way you transcend a tarot reading is, again, connecting with your emotions and intending that you get what you want regardless of the outside circumstances. But this is just an insight into whatever is going on right now. Like, my work with tarot is very informed through very informed by you know, spiritualists who have talked about manifestation, be it Neville Goddard or Paramhansa Yogananda or Eckhart Tolle, teachers like that. And they speak about conscious manifestation and how we are always in charge, always in power, and there are ways and means to do it. So take this reading as an information, but know that what happens in the future and the intention part, if that comes up in the reading, okay, if I'm guided to talk about it, that is based on the feelings that your person might be experiencing right now. And know that things are always in a flux. Stability is an illusion. Okay, so with that said, we have the Page of Cups, the Page of Coins in reversed, and the Page of Cups. Okay, is your person thinking about you? With this Page of Cups, I want to say yes. The answer to that is yes, but with the reverse Page of Coins, I feel like they might not know at this time. Too many cards. I do take jumper cards, but sometimes I'm just very clumsy and I drop quite a few of them, so that's when I ignore that. With the Page of Coins coming up as reversed, I feel like they might still not be ready, or still might not know what action, if any, to take towards you or towards this connection. Okay? They still are not feeling very ready. Then we have the reversed Ten of Wands. Is your ex thinking about you? When they think about you, what do they think? What do they feel? What are they going through right now? We have the reversed Star. Is your ex, whoops, and we have the reversed not reversed, the upright Four of Coins, which is the Four of Pentacles. I feel like when your connection ended, this ending might not have been a very bad ending or something that we can say was too bitter. That's the sense that I'm getting from this Page of Cups and the Four of Coins. And I say that because I distinctly got the sense that your ex is kind of they do think about you with that Page of Cups. As I said, I do see thoughts about you, wondering about you, even feelings towards you. They do still have feelings, but they choose to sit on it and maybe not make a contact with you right now, because a part of them with this Four of Coins doesn't want to ruin what's already good between you two. So this could be a minimal kind of contact situation between you guys. Maybe you guys are just, you know, casually talking every now and then, connecting with each other as friends. And if you're not, I feel like most of it, like towards the end of your relationship, most of it was quite pleasant between you guys, and they might have ended the connection, or you might have ended it, or you both might have ended it, ended the connection because of some other outside factors that at the time seemed pretty big enough to take that decision to end the connection. Okay, but I feel like things were mostly pleasant between the two of you, and your ex, when they do think of you, they do reminisce about that, about everything that was absolutely fabulous and how beautiful the connection was. I feel like they recognize your beauty. I feel like they spend a lot of time thinking about you. But right now, as I see in the cards, what I think is that they are not very sure about like reconnecting, and in fact they must be thinking, you know, that reconnecting with you might be backfire and might ruin things now for some reason. I'm going to go into in depth and kind of clarify that, but that's what I got from the reversed Page of Coins and the reversed Star energy. So does your ex think about you? Definitely yes, but what are they going through right now? We have the King of Swords. Okay. So at this time with the King of Swords energy, this is someone who is who shuts off their emotions, okay? And the reason they're doing that is explained by the Ten of Wands. Now, the Ten of Wands in its upright position is talks about overwhelm, okay? Just being burdened by too many things, and it's like having too many, balls up in the air and not knowing which one you should focus on and which one you should balance. I'm noticing the zero, the spade, which is zero, is like the Fool card in the tarot. And to me, that is, you know, having the desire. As I said, I kind of felt that when I drew your major arcana only cards from the tarot deck. I do feel like they do have that desire, but it's like the thought of that must be overwhelming them at this point of time. And so what they do with the reverse Ten of Wands is kind of literally what this person is doing in these cards. Like they shut their senses out. They try not to feel so many things all at the same time. That's the way that they are coping with the overwhelm. Try and understand that, okay? It's not about them not having emotions still, but they are actively choosing at this time to not pay attention to those emotions. And with the child that this King of Swords carries in their arm, that's making me think that they might have other things that are holding their attention, that are needing their attention at this point of time. And so, which is why they tell themselves that I literally cannot do that, okay? I'm also noticing the horns on the King of Swords here, which is quite unique representation of the King of Swords in this tarot deck. And horns, especially these kind of like sheep or bull horns, they are representative. You also see those horns in the Devil card with the Rider-Waite tarot deck. And the symbology, horns, they talk about spiritual development. So as I said, like your person is going through this maturing, you know, becoming more mature and stepping more into their power and slowly gaining an understanding of themselves as well as this connection, but mostly about themselves, okay? And this King of Swords, if you'll notice, he stands in like murky waters, and there's the moon behind them because the rest of it is night. This is not a daytime scene, in my opinion. So it is someone who is they do deeply feel for you or towards you, but it's almost like this King of Swords, their King of Swords side steps in, and it's almost like they're determined not to get swayed or allow their emotions to dictate the actions that they take right now, because at this time your person might feel overly overwhelmed by everything that they are experiencing in terms of their feelings, okay? And the other thing is explained by these two cards, the Page of Coins reversed. In its upright position, the Page of Coins is someone who is wanting to invest or ready to invest, okay? Slowly but steadily make an investment into something, in this case, the connection. Okay, had I seen these cards upright in your reading, I would have said that there's a big possibility that your person will come back and they would be ready to open up the door and open up the possibility of a conversation, of rekindling this connection. Okay, but in its reversed position, and the star being in its reversed position for you guys, I feel like right now, even though there is a desire, I clearly feel that, I really strongly feel that as I read your cards, pile 2, even though there is a desire in their heart, they do spend a lot of time thinking about you. It's like there's something, and we will get more clarification for that something makes them feel like they're not ready yet. I feel like they feel that they're not mature enough, or that, you know, they still have to work on themselves. They still have to focus on growing up, I feel like, almost, and get a better understanding of their own self before they can come forth and, you know, make a reconnection with you. The same thing with star energy. Even in its reversed energies, the star is still quite hopeful. So do they have that glimmer of hope in their hearts that they would be able to make a reconnection with you? Yes. But right now, when you're watching and finding this reading, I feel like right now, right at this moment, it might feel like now is not the time yet. Yes, in the future, I do have these feelings for my ex, and I do intend to get back to them, and I do hope that we can rekindle something, but I don't have enough to offer at this time. I don't feel ready to do that yet. So not yet, but yes, in the future. If my explanation is making sense. So let's get some more clarification for these energies here and see what is happening. I want to draw clarifying cards for each of the cards in your spread and go from there. So let's clarify the Page of Coins. Ooh, whoops. Again, as I said, too many cards when they flip over. I sort of ignore that. But let's get clarification for the Page of Coins. Why is the Page of Coins here? Why is the Page of Coins energy here? Why does your person not feel that they are ready as yet to reach out to you? Because there is desire. There is a lot of thinking and pondering. We have the Three of Cups. Okay, let me get one more card. Move this to the top here. And sorry, I just want you to be able to see all the cards as I build the layers. What is the Page of Coins energy here? Sorry, I was taking a moment to connect with the Three of Cups and see what I'm getting from that. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay. So to be honest with you, I feel like your person is taking some time away from this connection, and they are thinking, okay, they're thinking that at this time it would be a better idea for them to connect with other people. Okay, I know this is a message that is somewhat hard to hear, but I feel like with the Ace of Cups and the Three of Cups, I feel like this is them being open to connecting to other people. And I feel like the reason why they are thinking what they are thinking at this time is because they feel like through connecting with more people, it's almost like that would help them understand their emotions more. I don't know if that's a strategy that would work for them or not in the long term, but this is how your person is kind of logically justifying that, because they feel like your person might be, you know, prior to you, they might not be someone who has, you know, dated a lot and connected with a lot of people. But at this time, and I also feel like, you know, Spirit is putting those opportunities in their path where it's without seeking, okay, without them actively seeking. It might be that, you know, the opposite sex or the same sex, depending on what your person prefers, but opportunities to date other people and to learn through those experiences might be something that is currently happening, and it just might be something that Spirit is putting on their path. And I'm looking at all the lotuses in the Ace of Cups card, and I feel like this is supporting their transformation. Okay, the transformation that they need to go through, that they must go through. So it could either be intentional, which is the kind of thought that, you know, the universe puts in our mind to guide us into the direction that at this time we need to go. But so it could be intentional, but it could be something that is just happening and unfolding in their life at this time. Okay, and them viewing all of it as an opportunity to learn more about themselves. Like I said, your person might still feel like they don't have much to offer, they are not ready yet. So maybe they're just focused on having a good time, just, you know, casually connecting with other people. And yeah, they hope that they really learn some lessons. And I feel like your person is going into that with an agenda. Like, they're not just doing this for fun, okay? You know, screw it all, I'm going to date a bunch of people and go out and date casually and just focus on having fun. I don't feel like your person is approaching these opportunities with that mindset. Not at all. I feel like they view it, as I said, as an opportunity to learn some important lessons, discover their own emotionality more, because that might be something that they are, not might be, as I said, what I got from the major arcana portion of your reading when I began reading your cards, that might be something that they are not very good at, understanding emotions. So they see it as an opportunity to do just that. What is the reversed star energy here? Why is the star reversed here? Whoops, this jumped out. We have the Hierophant. Okay. Why is the star reversed here? So the Hierophant, there are two messages. Oh no, there are three messages that I'm getting from the Hierophant. But let me draw one more card to explain or to clarify the reversed star energy that we see here. we have the reversed Five of Cups. Okay, so there is definitely some sadness here with the Five of Cups. And when the Five of Cups comes up reversed, as I said, you know, this is when it's in a pride position. The Five of Cups is a lot of regret over their past actions, over the past, over everything that they did, the way they conducted themselves, certain aspects of your connection. And with the reverse Five of Cups, that might be weighing quite heavy on their minds. And for most of you, if not all of you, either this is like a fresh breakup or something that is still fresh in their energy and they feel it quite strongly. And with the Hierophant is all about learning. And you see all these symbols, like we have the triangle with the eye, we have the lips, we have the I believe the crown chakra, okay, and we have, of course, the Hierophant right there in the middle. So the Hierophant is all about learning, and the type of learning is, you know, discovering yourself, becoming more balanced, becoming more aware of who you are. And at this time, I feel like your person might be, they could be seeking actual help from an authority figure, like a doctor or a professor, or they must be turning to spirituality in order to like understand themselves. But the star is in the reverse position because I feel like they do dwell on everything that went wrong in this connection, and they do sort of like feel guilty and burdened by that, to be honest. And it's almost like I said, the prospect of reconnecting with you, it might feel like, you know, now is not the time and it's too soon, because for them, regardless of how it is for you, but for them, the memories of your connection and everything that, you know, they hurt them and what they did to like hurt you, how they perceive it, that must still be weighing quite heavily on their mind. The Five of Cups is sort of like a heavy, dark energy. With the Hierophant, I feel like they are working through all of it, like understanding it, gaining clarity on it, okay? Through someone, or either through like a person who is in a position to guide them, or this could also talk about resources like books and you know, YouTube and podcasts and what have you that talk about relationships, talk about breakups. And I feel like your person is really making an attempt to grow up and to understand themselves better. Like they're really focused on their own transformation because, as I said, they do realize that they have done certain things that were very wrong. And it also could be like this Four of Coins energy here. I'm going to clarify that, of course. But this Four of Coins is almost like I'm sensing, you know, I look at this figure and I'm sensing like fear. And they could be fearing rejection at this time, rejection coming from you. Like if they made a contact again, okay? Because look at everything that they are sitting on. The engagement ring, their heart locked, which is to me like blocked emotions, the two keys coming together of two people, their passions. So they might just be like sitting on all of this because part of them fears, you know, like if they were to reconnect, maybe you are the one that will shut the door on them. I really feel that. So given that, you know, what I said in the previous portion of this reading, maybe your breakup wasn't that harsh, maybe your breakup wasn't that bad, whatever it was, like you left a really good impression on your person, and they really look up to you. I feel like they really feel inspired by how genuine you are, or you were in the connection, how sweet you are, how emotional you are, how open you are with your emotions. And I feel like they look up to that, and they know that you treated them far better than they were able to do or respond to, okay? And I feel like part of them wants to just keep whatever good feelings, if any, that you have towards them, they want to keep that intact, okay? And they want to revisit those at a later date, but right now, as I said, they feel the need to like really grow up. I feel like your person is really someone who is really evolving in their own self-awareness, okay? And really becoming, as I said, or they see themselves as, they see themselves as somebody who really needs to do the work on themselves to become more mature. Okay, let me get some more on the Page of Cups energy. Why is the Page of Cups here? Oops, I see a card flipped over, I think. Okay, 2 flipped over. Let's do that. Lovers, and we have the 7 of Coins. Look at that. The Lovers is a beautiful energy. This could be like a twin flame soulmate type of connection, and usually there are, you know, the feelings within the Lovers type or connection that is represented by the Lovers card. There is a lot of emotional lessons that we learn through such connections. So whether your connection to them was brief, whether it lasted for a while or not, I feel like this was quite an intense connection between the two of you, okay? Something that does have a potential, or did have a potential, to develop into a committed relationship. And I feel like this brought up a lot of emotions with your person, okay? And it's the intensity. Part of it feels like it was probably the intensity of the connection, and them being not so capable of connecting to their own emotional side, and sort of like immature about emotions. Maybe they couldn't respond to your emotionality, couldn't understand it, like it baffled and confused them. The 7 of Cups is all about too many emotions rising at the same time and not being able to understand which one to respond to, okay? But this feels like a genuine immaturity, to be honest, like really your person being incapable of doing that, rather than, you know, like that person who runs away. This is someone who really was incapable at the time in the connection, and I feel like they realized that. That's why I feel, you know, their approach to even talking to other people or like connecting with other people, they're wanting to discover themselves more and their emotional side more and transform. And this is happening, the phase that they might be in right now, which is connecting with other people, that's happening for a reason. And the reason being like they need to grow up to understand, okay, to match you at your level of emotional maturity, okay? Let's see, why is the 4 of Coins here? Why is the 4 of Coins energy here? Why is the 4 of Coins energy here? Okay. We have the reversed Ace of Wands. Why is the 4 of Coins energy here? Can we get some more clarification on the, reversed Ace of, the 4 of Coins, apart from the reversed Ace of Wands? Almost feel like your person is kind of scared and wonders. We have the reversed Wheel of Fortune, okay. I almost feel like your person believes, or, you know, tells themselves that you have absolutely moved on from this connection, okay? That is what they're saying to themselves, and they are also wondering if you would be still attracted to them. I really feel that. It's the worry that I find coming from this card, because I find this individual, especially with this rendition of the 4 of Coins, I see that worry and the tension. I can feel the man's tension that's sitting up on the tree, and I really feel like your person wonders when they think about, you and think about the connection. They feel like, oh, obviously that you have moved on, and obviously you would not be attracted to them because they were such an idiot in this connection when they had you. Okay, that is something that is really holding them back. The reversed Ace of Wands, and the message that I'm getting is in its upright position. As you know, Ace is all about beginning, the ability to respond to your feelings, your fire, your passion. And with the reversed Ace of Wands, there is a delay. This doesn't say like a no, but definitely no for now, in the immediate future. And by immediate future, I'm talking about anywhere between like 15 days to 3 months. So within that period of time, that just makes sense to me as a tarot reader. Every reader is different. But in the immediate future, coming back to the point that I was making, they feel quite hesitant to do this because they tell themselves, obviously you wouldn't want it. Really, I do feel that. That is what your person is telling themselves. I'm going to get more on that dynamic later on in the reading if I want to. But let's clarify the reverse Ten of Wands. What's this reverse Ten of Wands energy here? Oh, and this is a question that I did ask Pile 1 when I filmed their reading, but I wanted to know if you appreciate in detail tarot readings as these, or would you prefer like shorter readings? If, because this is going to go up to like an hour or maybe more. We are already like 44 minutes and 19 seconds into this reading, but this is going to go long, so let me know what format you prefer. The point is, it's the reverse Ten of Wands energy. We have the reverse Sun, yeah, just feeling low and depressed. But with the reverse Sun, as you know, the Sun is all about like being happy. With the reverse Sun, two messages are coming through. They are having like a really hard time trying to keep themselves up and motivated. Okay, so this is why I say, when we saw this Three of Cups and Ace of Cups, because I know that message can be a little hard to take, a little hard to hear, that your person is connecting with other people. But with the reverse, I hope that you stayed up until this point in the reading, and I hope you're still here. With the reverse Sun of with the reverse Sun of a dash. With the reversed Sun card, I really feel like your person struggles being happy, being positive, being depressed. And I also feel like if they do come across as like that to you, if you are, connected to them via social media, or if this is a minimal contact kind of situation between the two of you now, I feel like it's all a farce. This is us forcing ourselves to come across as this upbeat, happy person, but there's a lot going on under the surface. What's going on is this reverse Ten of Wands, where we are really feeling so overwhelmed that we are, in a way, a part of us is shutting out the world. Okay, and this is why I said, it doesn't feel like, them connecting or responding to the opportunity of like connecting with other people and dating maybe, and talking to other people. It doesn't feel like it's, it's like a very happy kind of thing for them at this time, because the Sun and the reverse Ten of Wands, I feel quite confident in saying this, but I feel like your person is really struggling to keep themselves happy and deal with those heavy emotions, and it's overwhelming them. So what do? They shut it off, but it's not really working. And if your person is in that phase, they will reach a point where they will have to confront all of that, all of which is going on within them, because from this place, reverse Ten of Wands and reverse Sun, what we manifest or what we bring into our life is, again, the lessons that, ask us to, as I said, look within ourselves. And we have the reverse Knight of Coins. Again, the Knight of Coins is about communication, about somebody who really owns their feelings and is not afraid to talk about them, not afraid to express their feelings. So if in your connection with your person, they came across as someone who struggled with expressing their feelings, with talking about their feelings, know that they're still struggling with that, okay? This reverse 10 of Wands might be, you know, them just stewing in the exhaustion, the overwhelm that they feel at this time, okay? And trying really hard to, you know, keep themselves going and keep themselves motivated and happy. Wow, I'm really feeling bad for your person because they're really struggling. I can see that they're really struggling in this phase. And I really wish that, you know, they would at least like get someone to talk to. I feel like for most of you, if not all of you, this Hierophant might be representative of like other types of resources like books and not TV, but books and YouTube and podcasts and whatnot, but not an actual person, because I feel like your person really struggles with opening up, or is struggling right now. Oh, sorry, this is not the Knight of Cups, but this is the Knight of Coins. So this is okay, that changes it a little bit, if not a lot. But Knight of Coins, as you know, is a very slow moving sort of an energy. And this Knight of Coins coming up in reverse, it's kind of a complete cease of activity, like stopping all activity, okay? Allowing themselves to, as I said, crash into depression, being so depressed and down and out. And this might be something that they are hiding really well with the Sun, with the reversed Sun, really coming across as, oh, everything is fine. But underneath that, there is not a lot going on with your person at this time. Even, you know, internally, they might be really not in the mindset of starting something new or for themselves, or taking, you know, big leaps and going in a new direction. It's like they're sitting and stewing in that overwhelm that they feel, okay? A really depressed kind of energy is coming through at this time. But of course, this is also a part of their process, because as I said, from the Major Arcana card, you know, the Magician really makes me feel really good. So does the Emperor, so does the Temperance. Your person really has some major lessons to learn at this time. And they are going to step into their power, like the outcome or their journey. That's pretty good. That's pretty fabulous. So they will come out of this funk that they find themselves stuck in, but it's going to take a while. Okay, so let's get more on the King of Swords. What is the King of Swords energy here? Why is the King of Swords energy here? Spirit, could you please tell us more about the King of Swords? I do feel that they are, you know, choosing actively to remain cut off from their emotions. We have the reversed Four of Swords. Inability to really relax, I feel like. Why is the King of Swords here? One more card. And we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so this is kind of talking about a dysfunctional way that your person, unfortunately, might be dealing with their emotions at this time. With the Four of Swords, look at the relaxed scene of this upright Four of Swords. We have somebody lounging in bubbles, in a tub, and really looks like she's taking her time to think about everything and allow those downloads, those spiritual downloads, to comfort her, and actively taking the time to rest. But in this reading for you guys, it has come up as reverse, or for your ex, and we also have the Knight of Swords. So this, to me, okay, with the King of Swords, these being the explaining kind of cards for the King of Swords, I feel like your person, even though they do try to calm themselves down, maybe, you know, practice meditation, or what have you, like any kind of like meditative practice, and they do try to like really make themselves feel a little calmer than they really do, which is represented by the Knight of Swords. I feel like they're miserably failing in this attempt for now, okay? And again, like I said, it will get better with time, because I myself, as I'm reading these cards, I feel so bad. But, you know, this gives me a lot of hope. The Magician coming through here and reminds me that this is them on a journey. But right now, they might really be struggling with, you know, calming down. And another message that I'm getting is that they might not be able to, with the Knight of Swords, coming up with the reversed Four of Coins, I feel like they might not really be connecting to the right message, okay? So because of how depressed, dark, and sad, and confused and lost they feel, the heavy emotions of this, you know, like this reversed Five of Coins, I feel like within themselves, even though, you know, they are attempting to calm down and gain some like valuable insights, I feel like their mind is still not calm enough to be able to receive the right guidance. Or even when they do, I feel like they misinterpret that and they go back to their, you know, sort of reckless way of reacting to things, if, you know, parts of them that have been reckless in the past. And so it's like two sides of them is coming up. It's like certain actions and certain ways of coping that they might be engaging in, that they might be like quite reckless and not well thought out, and kind of, you know, responding in the moment and not really thinking. The Knight of Swords is not someone who really thinks about the decisions and the choices that he makes. He or she, of course, the actual gender is not relevant here, but the Knight of Swords is somebody who just rushes towards something as sort of like a reaction to what is happening right now, and not really worried, or doesn't have the capacity to think about the consequences. He's more of a like, let's do it first and then think about the consequences tomorrow or later on, okay? So part of them is kind of like that, you know, not a very thoughtful approach to their own healing, and with everything that is going on within them. And part of them like really wants to do that and struggles doing that, but as of now they're not able to connect with, you know, the right kind of message that needs to come through for them. Let's look at the bottom of the deck energy. We have Eight of Cups reversed. So definitely your person has not moved on from this connection. 100%, okay? They still think about it a lot. It still affects them a lot. And it's like they're trying to move on from it, but, you know, they keep revisiting it because, like I said, the Lover's energy, they are typically talking about connections that have been quite intense, and no matter what the length of the time period that you spent with them, the connection must have felt quite intense to the both of you. So your person hasn't moved on. Yes, you are still on their minds, but they're like ridden with guilt. They're trying to understand themselves. They realize that they need to be more mature, but at this time I feel like they're a little lost. Frankly, like I said, I feel really bad looking at these cards. I feel really bad for your person, okay? So let me get some love messages from your person. Let me get some messages for you, or for you from your person, or from Spirit, whatever does choose to come through. This is my Love Oracle deck, which if you have seen my videos before, you have seen this deck in action. Okay, kind of hard to shuffle. see. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be relieved. So talking about turmoil, like your person definitely is in turmoil, internal turmoil, I feel like, with this very unstable kind of energy where they're trying to navigate their, their own feelings, the after effects of the breakup, trying to move on but not being able to move on, and really dealing with a lot of heavy stuff. But Spirit is saying, and if you are going through turmoil yourself, post this breakup and post, this connection ending, Spirit is asking you to have some faith and know that through this turmoil, and I feel like not just blessings, but blessings will be revealed. Like I said, sometimes we need to go through dark phases and shitty phases in order to come to an understanding, to transform, to grow. And there's literally no shortcut to this process. We just have to go through the pain sometimes and through turmoil. And there is always a higher purpose, Spirit is saying, So keep the faith, and I hope that your person is able to keep the faith, and knowing, that, such an intense sort of like energy is going on with them. Spirit is also comforting you in a way and telling you that, they are going to get through this. Not only that, but some good things are going to come out of this phase for them and for you. Okay. Let me get one more. Love message for you, for them, or from them to you, whatever needs to come through. Let's see. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. So this is about manifestation, straight up, which is something that I'm always called to speak upon as a tarot reader. And I've sort of surrendered myself to this identity, and happily so, because to me, manifestation and acknowledging is a way of acknowledging that we have power, power above circumstances, power above whatever is going on, even when, things look like shit. And I feel like this is a message for you. So there might be considerable like pain and turmoil that you might be experiencing too at this time alongside your ex. And through this message, imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light and creating room for new opportunities and possibilities of your life. Spirit is asking you, daring you almost, to believe that when you sit down for meditation, or in the quiet times, or during the times that you're feeling balanced, okay, a little bit more balanced, a little bit more balanced than you normally feel through this phase, through this breakup phase, Spirit is daring you and asking you to believe and have faith for your future, okay? And maybe something like this might be a feeling that you might not be able to visit very often, but as often as you can, okay? Challenge your own way of thinking. That is how real change, intentional change happens. When we learn the art of not believing our thoughts, not believing what they're trying to tell us, and knowing that they're just repeating sort of like a pattern, or they're repeating somebody else's opinion, okay? When we actually see that, we know that there is room for us to practice this, which is, in times of meditation and when we are feeling more balanced. Can we challenge those thoughts? Can we remove them completely and intentionally put our focus on something else? And Spirit is saying that at this time, try and believe that what you truly desire is a possibility. Now that might be different for you, depending on what you want to happen going forward. Whether you want a reconnection with this person, whether you just want to heal, whether you want to find a better connection, it might change. It might differ. Okay, I'm not saying that it's going to be the same, exact same thing, but whatever your heart really wants, Spirit is saying at this point that through this pain and this process of growing up, there is also a big potential for you to understand the art of manifestation and why it's so natural, intentional manifestation, why it's so natural to us as, you know, divine beings. And the way to do that is to learn how to challenge your thoughts, not believe them, okay? And instead remove your focus and focus on what you want. So practice that as much as you can. That's one of the messages that's coming through. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. The new path is now, a new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. Again, for some of you, this message is about releasing this connection, okay? Releasing it and letting it go, and embracing new possibilities. Trusting that wherever your life is taking you, trust it, have faith. Faith is a much, I feel like, more robust word, but trusting that, you know, is more modern in a way. And yeah, Spirit is saying that at this time, for some of you at least, this is a call to release this connection and letting it go. And take your time with this, of course, because, you know, you watch a reading like this, and I know it doesn't happen in the next instance. Even that is a process. And it's okay. It's okay. Whatever time you take is the time you take. Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. So no matter, as I said, no matter how brief this connection was, no matter how, you know, like a short period of time that you came together, I feel like the emotions that were felt by the both of you, okay, were quite intense. And this is the acknowledgement that, you know, we receive now at this point in this reading, where I feel like your person also wants to say that to you, and this must be something that should resonate right away with most of you, that what you felt with this person was really, really deep feelings, okay? So accepting what is happening right now, and like I said at the beginning of this tarot reading, I was really called to say that, understand that this is what is going on right now, okay? Does this mean that if, especially for those of you that are desiring to reconnect with them, okay, you need to understand that right now they might not be ready, but does this mean that in the future they won't be ready at all? No. Does this mean that you cannot manifest this connection back? No. Okay. So, but the first step to intentional manifestation is real acceptance and making peace with what is. When you really feel peaceful within yourself, then you can begin asking the question, you know, what is it that your heart really desires? And then bringing in those practices where you transform through questioning your thoughts. You really question your thoughts. You look at your own wounding. You heal that. You let go of the past, regardless of that, you know, releasing the past and not hanging on to the history. That's an important part of it. Okay. I'm saying these things because I know that you, if not all of you, might have this hope of reconnecting with your person, and maybe that is why you're watching this reading. And I want to tell you now that if true heart desire of yours. And you can say the same thing once you have moved past the acceptance phase and being okay with it, at peace with it. I want to say to you that it's absolutely a possibility. Does that mean that the journey from now to then would be all smooth for you guys? No. Because sometimes we have to go through shit to rise into our power as the magician. But take this journey as a learning process, and remember that our destination, which is the magician, okay, the power that they are stepping into, that you might be stepping into. So embrace all the lessons that you're learning at this time. Pay attention to them, and have faith that life is taking you in the right direction that your heart's desire. What if this is the connection that you're wanting to manifest again? And I feel like for some of you, even your ex, they deeply do desire that. But this funk needs to be cleared up a little bit, not a little bit, all of it needs to go away. Okay? So I'm going to leave your reading here, and I do hope that the messages were helpful. I do hope that it resonated. Please let me know in the comments down below if this reading made sense to you and if it did help you. I really love receiving your feedback, either in the comment section or through the emails that you sent me. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and opening up to me the way you guys do. If you're looking to book a private reading with me, know that all my readings are pay what you can at this point. That might change in the future. So if it's, on the date, let me put it that way. On the date that this video gets posted, all my readings are pay what you can. And the way to book a private reading with me, that's in the description box below. And yeah, that is all. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Hey Pile 3, so if you resonated with this golden pyrite crystal and the Crow Tarot, this is your reading. Welcome. Before we go into the tarot messages, I'm actually going to draw 3 cards from this major arcana only tarot deck. I've been doing this for both the other piles, and this is called the Terror Tarot. And I love the theme of this tarot deck. It's quite fun. It's based on the fictional gore, horror, vampires sort of genre of books and movies. And the cards are quite nice. The artwork is nice. They're really well-made cards. I really do hope that they put out an entire deck on this theme. So I'm going to draw 3 cards, and the purpose of looking at these 3 major arcana cards is to understand, sort of like the major theme that your person might be going through, or has gone through, or if I am called to interpret the cards as sort of like, the current energy of the connection, then that is what I will do. But basically to look at the larger 3 themes at play. And yeah, so what is going on in this connection? What was it about? What has been going on? Depends on the card, and as I'm reading, my intuition does guide me as to how to interpret these. Okay, so we have the Justice card, we have the Devil, and we have the Tower. Okay, all right. Bottom of the deck, I'm also noticing the Moon energy. Okay. I just felt like including, like for this pile, I felt like including the Moon card as well into the reading. Okay, so first of all, I feel like this connection, okay, with the Devil energy and the Moon energy, this connection, okay, the reason why it was formed, I feel like, for both of you was to get you to look at your own shadow self, okay? Now, our shadow self consists of a lot of things, and some of the things that you might have sort of faced, or you were made to face almost through your experiences with this connection, and even like after the connection has ended. One of the things that you're having to face is a look at your deepest, darkest fears with the moon card there, taking a look at your thought patterns, both the combination of moon and devil tell me that, and the dysfunctional ways of all the dysfunction that is within you. It isn't all of us. It comes from our history, comes from our past. But the devil is actually one of my favorite cards of the tarot deck in the major arcana. And the reason why the devil makes so much, like resonates so much with me, because in my own life, I have done a lot of like self-examination. I've been through a lot of like shadow work, and been through a lot of circumstances that have actually called for me to take a look at my own shadow. And the devil to me is the energy of having these sort of limitations, feeling like you are stuck, feeling like you are a victim. As you can see, these two individuals, they don't have a very happy expression on their face, if my camera will focus. And they feel stuck. They feel at the mercy of this devil. And yet, if you will see that they could easily, if they wanted, at any moment of time, they could easily take off these chains that bind them. Okay? So the devil to me is speaking about our faulty sort of perspective, our flawed perspective of looking at circumstances and believing that the circumstances around us have more power than we do. Okay, it's the potential that sometimes we fail to acknowledge, okay, for various reasons. But the potential is always there, which is like we can free ourselves from the binds that bind us, from the things that we believe keep us stuck, whether they are internal things or whether they are external. Okay, so in terms of like being called as a result of this relationship, being called to examine your own self, look at your own shadow self, that has to be one of the like major themes of this connection. And I feel like both of you, you and your person, or at least some of you, if this might be true for some of you, that both of you were instigated into the process, but definitely for you guys, it's looking like it has been a more intense journey of like looking at your shadow, doing the inner work on yourself, questioning your beliefs, and just like really this relationship might have brought a lot of issues, internal issues to the surface that probably you are not aware of, difficult to handle things. So quite an intense journey with both the moon and the devil card showing up for you, pile 3. And yeah, I was saying, like for some of you, I get the feeling that you mirrored each other's kind of shadows to each other, like they were a manifestation of things that you needed to look at, sort of the tendencies within you. And so, this person and the way they behaved with you, the way they the way the relationship played out, your experience with them, all those elements, they were kind of like a reflection, I feel like, of your deepest, darkest fears. And the pain that you encountered through this relationship really made you aware of all of it. Okay, and like I said, you guys were mirroring, and I feel like your person recognizes that, and so they must be right now on their own journey, and we will look into the tarot and get a better idea of that. but they too must be on sort of like their own journey where they are doing a lot of work on themselves, healing themselves, questioning their beliefs, just examining the deepest, darkest part of their psyche, which they previously were shut out. It's kind of like through your connection, the universe was using you as a trigger to trigger them, and they were being used as a trigger to trigger you, so that you can work on these parts of yourself that really need attention and healing. Okay, with the Tower and the Justice energy, for some of you, this could mean that maybe your person is married or involved in a serious relationship. It could be that you are involved in a serious relationship. And I feel like with the Tower energy, the ending to this connection might be something that came very sudden. Okay, I'm also getting another message that, the Tower is kind of like lightning striking, as you can see, obviously, and some sudden changes, some big sudden changes that kind of caused you guys to end the relationship, or at least to some of you, this end to the connection might have come quite unexpectedly. Okay, I'm also getting another message that for some of you, your energy and how your person experienced you in this connection, that might have in itself felt like a tower moment. It's like they had a way of going about things a certain way, and then you step into their life and kind of shake everything up. Okay, so they might still be catching their breath after, having encountered the Tower in our life. And this is what I mean, that, circumstances and the way this relationship unfolded, it might be one of the trigger points or one of the reasons that began this journey for both of you. Okay, if your connection ended like in a sudden way, this has to be something very painful and something that you two might have had to cope with and have been coping with. And it depends on, your story, and will vary from person to person depending on, how long ago this relationship ended and what time period has passed between then and now. But if this is more recent, then I would, empathize with you and understand that you would still be kind of dealing with the after effects of that. Like I said, with the Justice card, it could indicate possible marriage between your person and another third party, or like I said, you might be married. But this also indicates, your person or you or both of you, or this connection basically ended because, they might be wanting to do kind of like the right thing, I'm also seeing the hourglass in the card, and I kind of feel like, it was just the wrong timing for this connection to come together and for both of you to experience each other. I feel like both of you still have a little bit of work to do on yourself, which is why I feel like this universe, the Tower is also about the universe stepping in and taking away something or breaking something or changing something completely, and some more often than not it's quite sudden, but it's basically divine intervention. Or Tower is also a card of divine intervention. So this could be, just about bad timing and both of you not having the skills necessary to respond to this connection in the way that it should have been handled. I apologize if you do hear like dog and animal noises in the background. That's just my pet dog, Bella. She's getting comfortable around us as we do your reading. So, yeah, like I said, it could be all about timing, bad timing, and wanting to do the right thing. So there could be parts of this, this narrative that I just spoke about when it comes to these cards, but it could be some of them, or it could simply be all of those factors playing in together, and which is why at this time you guys were either, you know, thrown apart or like taken away from each other's life, or that is just how it was mutually decided between the two of you. Oops, what is this piece of dirt? Okay, now let's go into your tarot messages and look at, are you on your person's mind? What do they think about when they think about you? Do they miss you? And what are they feeling? What are they thinking when they have thoughts of you? We are starting with the reversed Seven of Wands. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna put this stone here for a while. Still visible. Okay. What does your person? We have the Page of Swords. Okay. What does your person think about when they the Seven of Wands coming up as reversed and the Page of Swords? I feel like your person you know, behaved or shut you out or were stubborn because of a level of kind of immaturity. Okay. And just sort of when we stand by certain values, okay, and we are stubborn about something, but that does not make sense, okay, or that does not make for a good enough reason that would justify that stubbornness. I feel like they might have even shut you out or blocked you out, and what must have felt like to you and now to them, I feel like your person is realizing that they did this, you know, because of, like, they shut you out for no good reason. Yeah, just because they were immature, and they are seriously, I feel like, coming to a realization of that, because with these cards we are looking into your person's energy and how they process this. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving energy in the tarot, okay? So this tells me that right now at this point your person might not be making a lot of like moves towards you, okay? Despite realizing this, they might still be at a standstill. And this kind of, you know, makes me think that not only your person is someone who progresses or takes steps towards something only after like a lot of thought, and they think about the consequences of their action, because that is the Knight of Pentacles energy. Whoops, this card flew. We have the Nine of Wands in the reverse again. Okay, Seven of Wands and Nine of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, so your person is really, you know, thinking about the way that they shut you out. Anyways, I was talking about the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving energy, and not only that, the Knight of Pentacles really takes his or her own time, thinking about the decisions that they make, the moves that they make, and the consequences of that. So once we get the clarifying card, we will see why this Knight of Pentacles is here and why do they feel the need to slow down. But at this time, I feel like there must not be a lot of movement coming from your person. And yeah, speaking about the Seven of Wands and the in reversed and the Nine of Wands in reversed, I feel like the reason why your person shut you out in the first place is because of some past wounding. The Nine of Wands is a wounded energy. This is all our defense mechanism coming to light, and something in our environment or in our experience kind of triggering us to engage with with or through our defense mechanism. And I feel like there is a real deep realization with your person right now that this is the reason why, because of past experiences, past relationships that they have had. They were kind of pushing you away, shutting you out, and that there were no good enough reasons within your connection, I feel like, for them to behave in a way that they behaved. So they are in a place where they are seriously questioning the way they approached this, the way they acted it out, the way they behaved, and kind of wondering about the reasons why they shut you out, and realizing that it was just, their dysfunctional defense mechanism. Because even though those are our mental defense mechanism that our brain engages in to protect itself, to protect the being, it doesn't make them very functional. And we have to constantly question our motives behind our actions and our decisions, and make sure that we are not just, copy pasting the past experience to this one, which is what I feel like your person did, okay, with you. They saw you, they made some assumptions about you, and they felt, like this is going to be, a repeat of a history that they very much were burned by. And they are coming to that realization that they shouldn't have shut you out. They probably should have really questioned, how they are forming their assumptions about you and this connection. They see their own immaturity, I feel like. Okay. We have the Five of Wands. So conflict. I'm getting a couple of messages from this conflict card, okay? One of them might apply, or both of them might apply to your situation. So one of the reasons, okay, why your person kind of acted in a way that even to them comes across as immature now that they think about the connection, is I feel like at the time they were kind of influenced by all the conflicts that they were encountering in their other connections, okay? I feel like your person was in a situation where they had a lot going on, so kind of couldn't keep their mind straight, and didn't want to, it's kind of like choosing your battle. This crow is flying away with one of the swords, and it's almost like, nope, not doing this, not fighting this battle. And they had a lot going on already in their life that kept them pretty busy and engaged. And what I mean in sort of like a negative way, if I may, because I see like conflicting situations. Now this could be their family. For those of you that, know that your person was in a third-party connection, married to someone, or engaged, or like living with someone. So something like that, some form of a serious involvement. And we saw with the Justice card here that for some of you, your person might have been in another relationship. So this could be their family life, creating all this conflict. And another reason is, like I said before, in the previous two cards, we saw that, your person was sort of operating unconsciously, and they were just like responding to you or reacting to you from a place of like their dysfunctional defense mechanism. And so that, in combination with the like thoughts they had about, or like the conflict they had in their life, okay, so the Five of Wands, they almost couldn't keep their minds straight. And I feel like they are coming to this realization, your person really is, that the reason why they couldn't handle the connection the way that it deserved, okay, it couldn't give it a chance, is because like they had a lot going on, a lot of things disturbing. Okay, Five of Wands is a very disturbed, unstable energy. Imagine yourself in the middle of conflict, and then expecting yourself to think rationally, okay, would be impossible almost. Correct? There needs to be a calming down, a changing of your state, of your energy. Also, I'm not seeing a lot of cups in this spread so far. So cups to me is all about engaging with the heart, engaging with your emotions. And I feel like your person, through the relationship, they were pretty kind of disconnected, not from you, or, you know, this is not about you. This is about your person's own process that they were going through. They were quite, I feel like, disconnected with their own emotions at the time. Okay, so let's get one more card and see. Oh, whoops, this one's 2 cards. Okay, too many cards, not just 2. Let's see, why is this Knight of Pentacles here? Or like, I want to get one more to complete the spread, and then I'm going to draw cards to get an explanation on each of them. Clarifying cards, that is, on each of them. It's going to be a long reading, so pause this video and go grab a snack or a drink if that is what you desire. But this might go on for the whole hour. We have Death. Okay, so at this time, your person might view this connection as, you know, something that is over for them. And also because of that, because of the way they view this connection as being like over, this is the reason why they must be completely at a loss of, you know, what to do next or what move to make next. Interestingly enough, one of the things that Death is all about is transformation. Okay, and I'm seeing like the carcass of the crow here, and we have a brand new crow rising up like the phoenix in the sky. And this to me is also potential transformation. Okay, so like I said, I'm seeing with the Major Arcana card, like when I did this tarot part of your reading, what I saw was like this relationship was really triggering and really getting both of you to, in most cases both of you, but definitely for your person, it's really making them question their own thoughts. It's really making them question their own beliefs with the moon energy. Face those deep, darkest parts of their psyche within them and really question them. Okay, so the Devil is all about questioning. So the way this relationship panned out, you know, with the Tower also implying that this might have been something very groundbreaking almost for them, something that they have not experienced before. This type of a connection with you, not only could they not engage with it fully with their hearts, because like I said, I'm not seeing any cups energy, any emotional energy in the spread, but also because this was so different, this had such a different flavor, that it's kind of, you know, really triggering them to re-examine and really rethink everything that happened in the connection. Okay, so answering the question that do they think of you, I feel like the answer is yes, but I feel like it is more so about them thinking about themselves and how they behaved in this connection and coming to some, you know, realizations about themselves rather than, you know, them, you know, missing you or thinking more about you. And I feel like this process is necessary. It's a necessary thing that happens at this time. Okay, they really need that self-examination. They really need to break certain ways of thinking, certain patterns, in order to heal. And that healing, what that healing might be, that of course would vary to person, but it, I feel like, would involve, a big element of it would involve having your person really connect and accept emotions. Because I feel like I said, I'm seeing a lot of wands and, you know, the swords energy here. I feel like your person does not do a very good job of accepting their emotional side, and therefore they cannot recognize the emotional side of others, right? Because what you cannot give to yourself, you do not have that to offer to anybody else out there. Okay, so with the Death card, I believe like a transformation is in process. Okay, the process of transformation has started, or that is what this connection has been all about. I feel like for your person, a necessary thing that had to happen, which is why I feel like the universe put both you guys in each other's path. And this could be true for you too. There may be a lot of like shedding of old self and things attached to the old self. So things you feared, things you believed in, parts of you, unhealed parts of your psyche, understanding yourself more deeply, connecting with yourself. That might be happening for you as well. Okay. Let me get clarification for these cards. What is this reversed Seven of Wands energy here? What is this reversed Seven of Wands energy here? What is this reversed Seven of Wands energy here? We have the Six of Pentacles. What is this reverse Seven of Wands energy here? Okay. And we have the, sorry, not reverse, but we have the Four of Swords. Okay. So I feel like, you know, there was also like a genuine question of how much your person would be able to really invest in this connection. And I feel like this is talking about, especially for those of you that are aware that there were third parties involved in your connection, because I'm seeing three crows in both these cards. And this was your person thinking at the time, you know, when they were like shutting you out, the reason that they gave themselves. And again, look at that, no cups card. Again, this was more like a logical, you know, decision, but a well thought out. That much we have to hand it to your person, that they really did take the time to think this through, about how much they would really be able to do justice, you know, in terms of this connection. Maybe they knew that they only had so much to give, and that was already kind of reserved for some other, you know, areas of their lives. Okay, that they simply didn't have it in them to give to this connection. Okay, so in case you know that you're already aware that your person was in a third-party situation, I am seeing that in the cards, so Spirit is confirming that. But if it was not a third-party situation, there are other things that kind of occupied their time, and you know, that took up a lot of their mental energy. I'm also getting a sense of you know, them having to sort of almost like take a break. You know, it's like finding someone at a point of time in their lives when they are already coming to you with this need, and not a conscious thing in them, obviously an unconscious thing, but already coming into the situation they were, I mean, with the dire need to take a break in life, you know, like really take a break. So this is something that their soul was already kind of prepping them for, and then this connection happened. And what was the soul prepping them for? What I meant by that was this introspective energy of this Four of Swords. Okay, so that's the thing that I'm getting, that this was genuinely part of it, genuinely, and this, they must have told you that, you know, as you were in this connection with them and experiencing it, they must have told you that they simply, or you saw that as a distinct part of their life, that this person is really just extremely busy and has no time, resources to invest in this connection. Okay, what is this reversed Nine of Wands energy? Two cards for that. Spirit, could you tell us what is this about? What is this reverse Nine of Wands about? We have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about two things, two major themes that come through. It's about the need to change your perspective on things, which is what I feel like your person is in the process of realizing, since this Nine of Wands has come up as reversed, that they do realize that they need to change their perspective on certain things. Then we have the Page of Wands. Interesting. Okay, so really complex kind of an energy, and I feel like as their perspective is changing, okay, with the Hanged Man. The other thing is about like not taking action, being in a limbo, being stuck. But I feel like this is more so in this reading. I feel like, you know, the first part that I said, that should be more applicable to most of you, if not all of you. For some of you, of course, like with the Knight of Pentacles, we do see that there's kind of hesitation, but the Knight of Wands is not totally stuck. It's someone that makes real slow progress because they really consider the consequences of their actions. So we're not seeing like totally stuck energy with your person, and we are also seeing like them coming to big realizations, them going on a journey of transformation. So I feel like your person, with this realization coming in that they should have seen things differently, they should have seen you differently. Oh wow, I would love to know the details of your connection with this person. To be honest, like part of me is curious, and I would love if you could share that story. So now that they realize that their Nine of Wands energy that they were putting out towards you was coming from their, you know, like dysfunctional defense mechanism, now that they're realizing that, I feel like they are wanting to come forward with some sort of a communication. Send you a message, you know, give you a shout out. Look at that crow, you know, wanting to fly and cawing and like being loud, wanting to speak up. And it's almost like, you know, the realization that they have been wrong, or how they viewed this connection that has been wrong. It's almost in a way, causing a stir of enthusiasm in your person, enthusiasm towards you, okay, towards your connection, and wanting to reach out to you and maybe even communicate this fact to you that, hey, you know, whatever happened, I feel like, you know, I was operating from a place of this wounded self, however they would put it, if they're not very spiritual, very esoteric, and, you know, talk like I do, which is, they might put it in a different language or a different word, might use different words for it, is what I'm trying to say. But basically, I feel like your person is wanting to communicate that to you, that they see, that they really see themselves more clearly now. Okay, interesting. And it makes sense, like, talking about, you know, them undergoing transformation, really does make sense. Page of Swords. Why is this Page of Swords here? I'll get more clarification for the Page of Swords energy here. Okay. We have the Two of Swords. Whoops, this one jumped out, and we have the reversed Five of Swords. Okay. Okay. So, like I said, your person is waking up to the realization that they have been immature, and it is a fact. I feel like that they have been quite immature in the way that they have handled this connection. But Spirit is explaining that with these two cards, okay? The Two of Swords is all about, this is stuck energy, not being able to decide, not being able to choose or think, you know what to think, know what to focus on. Option A, option B, what should I do, okay? So with that kind of a confusion, the person usually does nothing, okay? They are They remain stuck in the position that is not acting, okay? Remain stuck in that confusion. And if you can see, if my camera will focus, that the crow in the Two of Swords card is blindfolded. So to me, the blindfold talks about an inability, like a literal cognitive inability to see things for how they are, or see things clearly, or understand everything that they needed to understand about the connection, about the situation that they were in with you. Okay, so again, why did they, as I said, with this Page of Swords flying away with the sword, why did they, like, sort of, they might have disappeared on you as well, suddenly like ending the relationship, or always coming across as confused, but then in the end choosing to run away. You know what I mean? Another reason with the Five of Swords, upright energy, this is about a battle that we sometimes fight, but even if we win, it doesn't really feel like a win. You know what I mean? Like the losses, the things that we lose in a battle, okay? They feel like they affect us, okay? They really affect us and do not let us, like there's something colluding the win that we have technically, like we've technically won about battle against our enemies, okay? But it still doesn't feel like a win because we have also given up a lot, lost a lot. Reasons could be varied. With the reversed Five of Swords, I feel like your person was trying to avoid this kind of a situation coming up. Now, this is their thinking, okay? Would this situation, would this reverse Five or like Five of Swords, would that have come up in your connection? Not necessarily, okay? I feel like your person projected a lot of their fears, a lot of their, like I said, fears for lack of a better word, but a well-deserving repetition of the word fear. But they projected a lot of their fears into this connection, or, you know, on top of this connection, and never really had a clear view of things as they actually are. I was just listening to a lecture by Gabor, I can't pronounce his name, but I'm going to put it on the screen. Gabor Mate, Gabor Mate, Dr. Gabor Mate. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I do apologize. Please correct me. But anyways, he was talking about how somebody says that it's another philosopher, thinker, psychologist. Somebody has said this, that we are not responding or reacting to life. We are responding to our perspective on whatever situation is unfolding in front of us. And I think that is the situation that happened, or that is the case that your person experienced through this connection. They came in, I feel like, with a lot of wounding, but they're all realizing that, I feel like, which is a good thing. It's not that they are blind to it anymore. So in order to avoid this Five of Swords situation, and, you know, telling themselves that it's a battle that I don't want to fight, because whenever I have in the past, you know, that is, you know, fought in a relationship, not fought with the partner, but like fought for a relationship, it never has panned out. It never has worked out. So let me just leave before history repeats itself, which, you know, not sure if it would have, but that's what they told themselves. Let me leave before I get hurt. So getting on why this Five Wands energy is here, and we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Whoops. Okay, this one wants to come out, and we have the Ten of Wands. Now, I admit that the Page of Pentacles is confusing me a little bit, but the Ten of Wands especially, The Ten of Wands is the energy of someone who really feels like, okay, notice what I'm saying, feels like the burden of the entire universe, entire world is on their shoulders. Okay, this might or might not be true, but they certainly felt overwhelmed. Like I said, you know, Five of Pentacles, conflicting situation. The Page of Pentacles, I don't know why, but I'm getting the sense of a child for some of you, especially for those of you that know that, you know, your person is in a connection. Maybe they have a family, and maybe there were issues around the children or the child in their life. But if not, let me get one more to clarify the energy. What is the Page of Pentacles here? The Page of Pentacles could also be reflecting, you know, their immaturity and not being mature enough to, you know, start something new with you. The Page of Pentacles is still sort of like that learner kind of energy, someone who's very new. So yeah, like I feel, you know, for those of you that do know that your person was not in a relationship or not in a third party situation, does not have children. And even if they had children, I feel like it's talking about, the Page of Pentacles is talking about their inability to handle this type of a connection. Because I really feel like this was something so new and something that shook them, you know, with this Tower energy that we saw, and triggered them enough to question who they are and how they behave. So I feel like, you know, this was very different than what they have experienced in their life so far. They were not ready for it, okay? Not really mature enough to handle it, okay? I'm still going to get an explanation in case I'm missing a point that I do need to say. What is this Page of Pentacles energy here? What is this Page of Pentacles energy here? What else to come out? We have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so this is their inability to think clearly, and to know how to handle themselves through this connection and through everything as in, you know, the conflicts that were unfolding in their own personal lives, the fact that they're feeling burdened. I feel like your person goes into this victim, woe is me, victim kind of sort of mentality, and really kind of pities themselves, and oh, poor me. But basically it is their inability to do so. Okay, so what I was drawing the cards for our Knight of Pentacles here, and we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse that came up. So again, Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, let me get one more. Oops. All right. We have the Three of Swords in reverse. Your person might be working through some pain and some previous heartbreak, okay? So with the Two of Pentacles, like I said, Knight of Pentacles is talking about their energy, which is very, very slow moving. Even if they are progressing and making some progress towards you, towards this connection in the future, the Two of Pentacles is that stuck energy that, you know, it's about confusion. Okay, even in its upright position, the Two of Pentacles is being extremely confused about where to put your energy in what pentacle, okay? And because of that, it becomes kind of like a difficult balancing act. But I feel like, you know, one of the pentacles being you in this dynamic, even with its reversed, even in a reverse position, your person hasn't dropped the pentacle. And this is something that came up with Pile 1's reading. It's like your person hasn't let go of this connection at all. So they do, you know, they do process and they do think about you in terms of like, you know, everything that happened. And it's still very much on their minds and still like a juggling act for them. And you know, I feel like your person is still working through the pain. Now, this pain could be talking about the kind of pain that they felt in this connection and also like pain coming from the past. I feel like, you know, I feel like you found your person in sort of like a broken state, and the need was for them to go back within themselves and do all the like inner healing and work. And literally that is why you were put in their path. Okay. And they were put in your path. This could be true for you too, that you have to work through some of the pain as well, both of you. And I'm looking at this infinity sign, which which looks like the number 8. So that could be significant for your connection in some ways. And you will have to tell me that in the comment section how it was. And we have temperance, clarifying the death energy here. Let's draw one more. What is the death energy here? What's the death energy here? No, I want to give it one more shuffle. Oops, okay, that jumped out. And we have the High Priestess coming up in reverse, okay. So at this time, your person is needing to do 2 things, okay? Okay, so within its upright position, the High Priestess talks about connecting to our feminine side, our intuition, our deep feelings, and allowing those feelings, allowing our intuition to guide our life, to guide our journey, okay, to guide us towards like what next step do we need to take and where do we need to go. With the reverse position coming up for your reading, I feel like your person is having a little bit of trouble at this time to connect to their feminine side, even as they are going through this transformation. And it presents itself as a sort of a challenge that they need to do. Maybe they are actively shutting out the intuitive side, and they're not really acknowledging what the deep truth about this connection is to rise to the surface. And I feel like this is more because of the temperance energy. And temperance could be like, you know, them prioritizing feeling a bit more balanced, or not allowing, you know, these deep inner realization to rise to the surface as of now, because that might make them feel imbalanced, you know, that might cause a stir in emotions. And your person wants to feel balanced and wants to bring in a sense of balance. I feel like this is a person who likes to project a sort of an image, if I may. I'm just getting that vibe from this crow here that's sitting and pouring water in the cup. But I feel like your person likes to project this image to the world that they are unfazed by anything and they always remain in balance. So this transformation that they're going through, there's a need for them to really allow this High Priestess within them to communicate. But at this time, that communication might be a little blocked or a little slow. Does that mean that in time this won't be flipped over? And does that mean that they would remain like blind to it or closed off to it? No. In time, I feel like, you know, they will have to, literally have to, deal with everything that's coming up. And my attention is also being drawn to the Devil and the Moon card as I look at the High Priestess. So this is about, you know, dealing with really difficult energies when we engage with our Devil and the Moon side, which is, you know, the dark parts of our psyche that we are not comfortable looking at all, you know. And even though messages from there are delivered by the High Priestess, it's still a very like kind of difficult, tough, challenging energy to deal with. But that is how transformation is. Like your old self has to die for the new self to emerge. But this process can be quite challenging. Okay, so a lot going on with your person right now. A lot is happening in their lives, and some of it might be reflected in your life as well, because I feel like this was, you know, a connection where both of you were put into each other's path, so that you take a look at, you know, a similar theme that might be unfolding in your life, maybe in a different way, but unfolding. Let's look at the bottom of the deck energy. We have the Knight of Cups. See? So with this, I feel like, is communication coming in the future? Definitely, yes. I feel like you guys will get a chance to reconnect and for most of you, I feel like this will be a romantic reconnection with your person, really being more open to talking about their feelings, because I feel like this Cups energy was really lacking throughout the reading and throughout this connection. But suddenly we have the Knight of Cups, which is, the energy of an individual that is not afraid of expressing, not afraid of talking about their feelings. So definitely, definitely, that kind of a change is coming, where you will probably see that emotional side of your person. Not probably, it's more likely than not that you will see them talking about their emotions. And this is something that might have frustrated you too in this connection in the past, why your person does not open up. So I feel like the realizations that they are having and the process that they're going through is going to bring them in a place where they will be more comfortable talking about their feelings. Okay. So, which is interesting. Like, suddenly I was surprised with the Knight of Cups there. Let's draw oracle cards and see which ones should I take. Okay, we'll do the Romance Angel oracle cards for your reading, pile 3. What's happening with your ex? Or, alternatively, sometimes the message that comes through comes for you, and it has got nothing to do with your ex. So let's see. Forgiving and learning. Look at that. This card jumped out. So this is a process where you might have some forgiving to do. Forgiving yourself, forgiving them, forgiving, everything that happened. And knowing that, if this is you and you feel like you have made some mistakes in the past with this connection, then know that, you were in a state of mind, and it was just the state you were in, and you didn't know better. You do now, but you didn't know better then. And definitely forgiving and learning for your ex, as they're coming to some realization. They have work to do with forgiveness, forgiving themselves, and, forgiving how they behaved, how they shut you out, before they can even open up to the possibility of coming back to you. But I feel like they will reach there. And what's encouraging me is this Knight of Cups that came through very suddenly and very pleasantly from the bottom of the deck. Just sneaked in, to show me, like, hey, this person, even though they had a lot of trouble engaging with the cups or the emotional side, they're getting better. So they have a process of forgiving and learning. Finances and career. This could be relevant for some of you, most of you, all of you. But your person is focusing on finances and career, and could be a message for you too, that, as you go through this separation and this time apart, finances and career will be something that will take precedence over, this connection. But since when this kind of a card comes up in a reading that is about a relationship, I feel like Spirit is saying that, the changes that would happen in your finances and your career will have an impact on this connection as well. So could be for your person, could be for you, could be for both of you. But Spirit is saying, like, things need to change and happen with finances and career. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So if you are yourself being called to make certain changes within yourself in your life, okay, and you distinctly can pinpoint to this connection being the reason, Spirit is saying at this time, take that inspiration, take that energy, take this reason as a good enough reason, this connection that is, as a good enough reason to make those changes, because there was love here. There was, even though, your person might not be cognizant of that throughout the connection, it was that. We have engagement. Oh my God, wow. Things will be turning around, I feel like, for you guys. This is a big leap from what we saw in the tarot cards coming up as a message in this connection. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. like I said, you know, this connection might have happened for both of you to really see certain things within your own selves that needed healing at this time. And I feel like Spirit is acknowledging here that there will be a chance to reconnect with each other, so much so that, you know, this might turn into a real relationship. You know, might sound very ridiculous and you might not be able to believe in that, but hey, life is much more powerful than our teeny tiny conscious minds, limited conscious minds, and you never know how things might turn around with someone. Anything could happen, as they say. We have flirt, the energy of flirt. It came up in reverse, but you know what, these cards, I do take it up in the upright position. So this is all about extending your light-hearted energy to others. And even within this connection, when the reconnection happened, I think you guys really did have a phase where you guys were flirting with each other, something that you did enjoy. But for you to reach this energy of like flirting back and forth, you have to really calm down, right? You have to really calm down and be in a different state of mind. And I feel like you guys will reach there. Calling in your soulmate. Yeah, so really a soulmate type of intense connection. They might have felt the connection intensely. You might have felt so. But Spirit is saying, like, you know, that a light-hearted approach to your person, to this entire thing, after having gone through the process of like forgiving and learning, and you know, even if you're called to do like making the effort in changing, all of that needs to pan out, which might result in really bringing this person back to you, because this is a soulmate type of energy. Soulmates are really connections that come into our lives to trigger us. We have getting to know each other, so an opportunity to really talk, reveal your innermost self to each other, allowing the bond to deepen. Wow. I feel like a complete turn around is happening, or would happen in this connection in the future. Spirit is really showing me that. If you have stuck around for, you know, this long in this pile 3 reading, tell me how you feel about it. See, soulmate type of connection. Wow. So give this time, I would say. Like I said, I saw in the Justice card, the hourglass. So time, like divine timing, is a factor, a real factor in this connection. Let me take one more card. We have attraction. So attraction, to me, this card typically speaks of focusing on letting go of control and attracting a relationship with this person, if that is what, you know, some of you might be actively hoping to do in the near future. But attraction is all about becoming, you know, the person that can call in the relationship or this relationship back into their life. And that begins from, you know, letting go of the circumstances right now that is not, you know, reacting or acting from a place of hurt and pain and fear, and just allowing things to unfold the way they will. Okay, so amazing energy here. And yeah, like I said, with the reading and going to the oracle cards, it's like a complete turn around of energies, a switch over. So this is a real possibility for some of you guys. I'm seeing, like, you know, bringing this person back, because it is that soulmate type of connection. But keep your focus on attracting, not on, like, you know, snatching and like forcing it into your life. Okay, so thank you so much for watching your reading. If you are, you know, if this helped you in any way, if the messages did resonate, please let me know in the comment section down below. I really love receiving your feedback also the kind emails that you send my way. And if you're interested in booking a private reading with me, on the date that this video gets posted, all the readings are pay what you can. Keep that in mind. And the way to book a reading is in the description box below. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, for sharing your energy with me, and for being here. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Okay. Bye-bye.